fellow traders. How's everyone doing? It's the Wolf. Welcome to the Wolf Den Trader Takeaways. Another episode coming at you on this Monday morning. Now, today, CEI, massive strength. Let's just go ahead and take a look at executions. Rebecca, thank you. Now, CEI had some news come out in the 8Ks and in the feeds. Let's just hop over to the Jumbotron and take a look at the 3-year chart. Now, super trashy. This thing is trading $3,200 within 3 years. We know what time it is, CEI. So we're looking in the 8Ks. We noticed on 7/9/19 that they had acquisition. 7/2 they had they had approval for a 1-to-25 reverse split, and then 6/5/19 they became NASDAQ compliant. So basically the storm is brewing, everything is lining up, and then today we had 54 million shares traded, which isn't too high relative to the 10-day. It's 11.68 times higher than the 10-day average, and then if we also want to look on the 90-day average, it's 19.3 times higher. So the stock was in play. The volume has been building up since the reverse split, but let's just go ahead and zoom in on this chart. Look at this thing. So we can see it's tough to even zoom in on this thing, but you can tell we have some resistance, some vague low volume technical resistance here. We marked it off, but the main channel is 151 and below, basically. Now, this wasn't the only thing on our radar. In the fundamental room, real quick, in the Wolf Trading fundamental room, we noticed CLRB had an offering out, 4 million warrants at 240. That came out in Form D. And a heads up on ALT. ALT is sitting on a S3 that's effective for $250 million. We're just waiting on the 424. Now back to executions. So CEI was a loss today. We took a loss on it. Massive strength. These guys are just putting in work, and we took a loss on it. Now we learn 10 times more from our losses than we do from our winners. I will continue to show every trade, win or lose. Let me just set up a psychological profile on this ticker. Coming off of my 2 biggest wins of the year, SGMO and KPTI. I got overconfident on this one and did not trade it to the best of my ability. Got a little loose on executions. So here we are in pre-market, pretty flat. Now this thing kind of snuck up on me. It didn't even hit my radar until 9:27. So I feel like I was trading this thing blind. Not making excuses, but I need to do more research on a name, especially if I'm going to size in like this on this micro float. 2.1 million shares outstanding as of right now. At the close, this had a 16 million market cap. We're below that now. So now I scalped the order flow right here, just kind of adding into a pop. Didn't touch it pre-market, wasn't even aware of it until right before the bell. And I put some orders out against pre-market highs right here. Now I get filled. The size is real small. I carry them up. That's mistake number 1. I should have had a pre-market cut right here, in 280s. Now I don't even know if there's fundamental overhead. There's overhead supply or not. I'm just kind of trading this on a technical, just purely technicals, and I'm just trading this on the order flow with not enough information. Now I end up sizing up. I continue to scale in. We see some topping. Here's the 1-minute chart. I'm liking the wicks right here. I'm taking early profit, and I'm catching micro support. So I'm bringing an average up. These are probably wash covers right here. It might be a little bit in the money. Excuse me. And then I continue to try to short into exhaustion. I have to put my orders out and lean into strength. As you guys know, this is an SSR play with a micro float equals kaboom. So I'm just trying to trim at support and add into strength. Predicting a sub VWAP fade right here. We don't get it. I continue to add in. Now where's the cut? I need to cut right here at high a day. This is going to be a front side core strategy. I'm in multiple plays right now, but I still need, if I'm going to put the risk on, I need to have effective measures to take the risk off. I'm going to be saying that a lot today because my risk management today was subpar. And this needs to be addressed immediately. Where's the cut? There needs to be a cut here at 350. no cut. So I carry up, and now I'm carrying up my average, right? This is poor trading. Now, averaging up. I had a storm here. I'm in Florida. We had a nice rainstorm, and I had to restart DAS. I don't know how to keep my text notes on the chart. If anyone does know how to do that, please let me know. So I don't have my averages, but I did finally take a full cut right here at 413. I'm in the red. Now I wait for exhaustion. Now I have a little bit of remorse and just I'm not confident enough to attack this. Obviously, I'm very, very hesitant even to attack this against a projected high. So I leaned into some strength right here. Now I did put some decent size in. I was liking what we saw. This flush right here. From 493 to 443, we got a 50-cent flush relative to the size of the stock is a 10% retracement almost. I like that. I'm gonna take that as a possible fade. Let's take this thing down. So I'm just taking early support. I'm taking early profit at micro support, and I'm adding it back. Now this is kind of like the beginning of a transition into a backside core strategy, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm kind of getting into a rhythm with the players that are playing in this type of order flow right here. I'm in a rhythm, and I like this. I'm taking profit. This trade right here put me close to in the money. I think I was still slightly red at this point. Not exactly sure of my averages because I don't have the trade notes, but I'm just adding back and selling at support, right? I'm selling some resistance and I'm buying support. Very simple. Right here, I was having issues getting in, so I put out like 7 orders, like 100 shares each at every penny. I just couldn't get filled. I was getting frustrated. I kept chasing them, and we had a little spike, and they all filled, which is fine. These are all small orders, but I did decide to trim a little bit of the position because this was a little bit more than I wanted to get filled. There's a trader error right there. Now, I trimmed immediately, and we come back down, and I start to add back in the position against high a day. Now, I trim at support, and I'm selling resistance. Back in the rhythm. We get a nice flush here. I took out like 40%. I think I said in the room that I trimmed 40% of the position off right here. I am in the green at this point. We're at VWAP. I'm in the green. I trimmed some more of the position right here. I'm happy because we have a potential to get a nice fade on this play. Let's take this thing back down to $2. That was the plan. Now I'm noticing some soaking on the bid, and this is where the larger players possibly started to show their hand and the amount of influence that the bid had on this chart. So 357 and 361. Those are my layered support lines. Now I worked this channel and I started taking multiple trims at those support levels, just kind of working this channel. In the room we were talking about this channel, and I did mention that this was a one-wave push and then a emotional push and then emotional sell-off. And then here we have a 1, 2, 3 wave push and like a 1, 2, 3 wave, looking for this to come down. At this point right here, when I saw buyers defending this lower high, I had a good idea that this thing was going to push. Now, I didn't know it was going to push as high as it did, but I had orders here at 385, and I pulled them and I put them in against 4. Now, I knew I don't have the volume profile set up, but I did know that there was long bags from this consolidation at 410 and 420, 415, and that's why I sized in using this consolidation as resistance. Right, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So then I continue to add. I'm oversizing right here. I'm in the money. I'm feeling good about this consolidation. I've ripped this channel. I'm happy with this with this trading, with this execution. So I'm getting overly sized in. Now after this push, I'm in the red. I should have trimmed here, right? I'm gonna add against this high. I don't cut. Now I remember this push. This was the squeeze. This was massively fast. It was quick. I was watching the level 2, and I was watching the tape, and this was a squeeze right here. So then I trimmed the position, like 30 to 40% of the position, which is relatively low, at the selling exhaustion. Right? I'm at the mercy of the market right here at 1234. This is not how we trade. This is not professional trading. This is emotional trading, revenge trading. This is just me wanting to push buttons all day, trying to get a leg up on the competition and try to take this thing down. And then we get that high day break. Now, we did break high a day. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. My DAS has been a little bit off today. So we get this spike right here. $5 was previous high, and we wicked it. Now, I had a decent amount of ads right above $5 because I did have the thesis that they were going to just take the short stops and just return down. Even though this was a micro float, there wasn't too many shares available. I don't know how many shorts were even able to get shares. So I don't know if that thesis can even be correct or not. This was a bad trade. This is an embarrassment to my caliber of skill set. But we're just going to continue to roll through this, right? We want to learn and we want to get better from this. So I take a massive amount of the position off here, maybe 80% of the position off here. Still in the red from carrying these shares up. This cut right here with this consolidation was like an average of 30 cents on maybe 3/4 size position. So I'm taking a 30-cent hit here, and I'm trying to get, 40 cents, probably about 30, 40 cents back, but on a larger scale, especially with this type of exhaustion. I'm leaning in on the way up and, probably oversized, but that's what I did, and it worked out. I definitely washed this, and I came back into the green at this point. Now I'm trading a little bit smaller. I did not execute. I'm still carrying a quarter over, probably 20%, I think, over. So I am carrying averages now from 475 and still from here. As I said, this is about 40%. So I'm carrying shares up, right? This is not what we want to do. We want to carry shares down on the core, right? We want to work backside core. I'm running frontside core, and I'm not trimming at support. I'm not taking enough of the trade-off. I need to take the loss, protect myself. So here we go. We continue to scalp and trim. This was probably a 1-for-1 trade right here. So I'm still carrying the same amount of shares up, and I add again against a new high a day. And then this thing just grinds right past me. Now, a full cut should have been initiated at 520, 521. I could see letting this wick pass. And then at the stalling and the bid strength, and especially of a candle with this type of a bid wick right here, this is a cut right here. This needs to be a cut, and that should have been done right here. There's no excuses for me to be in the trade after this. Why am I in this trade right now? I have no idea. Then we continue to push, and there's enough pain that I cut. I mark it out. This is not how we trade. This was a pain tolerance right here. This was 70% of the position, and then frustrated but trying to think clearly, I'm waiting for a sell-off. This thing kind of pushed and had a flush. Push and flushed. The price action was very difficult on this, especially for a short seller. Hopefully you guys did better than I did and traded this less or traded this smarter, but I did exit the remaining 30%. I don't have my average. I believe it was like 460, something like that. I was like in a 440 or 460 average at this point. And then I added, so I think I lost like almost 80 cents to $1 on this towards the end right here. And then I did the remainder of the 30-cent cut right here at, sub 550. That was a great execution. And then we just had this little supernova. I think these guys wanted to close strong to get the MVPHS up, so maybe they can dilute into the market a little bit, get that OS up. The guys are just doing the same thing, rinse and repeat. They just got compliance. These guys, they're going to hustle retail. They hustled me today. Like I said, hopefully you guys did better. This was a loss. This was a medium-sized red day for me. I was in the money for 30 to 40% of the day. I was in the money. I should have, at the very, very least, after this push here, I should have cut my sizing way down. If I need to stay in the trade, at this point, my sizing needs to be like 30, 25%. This is just revenge trading at this point, and this is sloppy, emotional trading. I will take pictures of this. I will be looking at this tonight. I'll be rewatching this recap, but we're going to continue to get better off our losers, right? We need our losers to become winners, if that makes sense, right? And if you don't fail, you're not trying. So we gave it a shot today, and we took the loss. Here's another loss, SOLY. So SOLY, $16 warrants that have probably expired. Some guys in the room, a shout out to the guys. We were reading filings last night until like midnight. We spent 15 hours in the room just going over filings. Great group of guys in the room right now. Fundamental analysis is on point. We're continuing to grow. We're starting to call it the wolf pack. We're attacking these filings, pack mentality. So at the open here, notice weakness. We start to stall. Now, price action yesterday, the order flow was 9 out of 10 difficulty, which in my book is toxic. So I know that we're trading toxic order flow. Here's my executions right here. 1690, 1690, 1697. So I'm scaling in right here. Here's my size as well. Small size, scaling into a $17 thesis. And we get a nice little flush, taking profit at 1640. That's a nice little 60-cent scalp. And then, taking profit at 1620. So that's on average a 70 to 80 cent scalp. We get a push. I'm going to do it again. Let's do it again. I'm leaning in right here. Now, majority of my attention was on IE or CIE. So I didn't give this one as much attention as I needed to, but that's not an excuse, right? Just taking profit early here and taking profit on the way up. I didn't have orders out. Now, it's our job to have orders out in front of the tape. I had this order out. I did not have this order out. So I saw it in my peripheral vision, and I see it start to climb back up. So I took the last 100 shares. No, I had 200 shares left at this point. I took 100 off on the way up, allowing this to push, looking to scale back in. I reported in the room that I was going to add at VWAP and try to scale in against high a day because I like these wicks right here. I like the selling pressure. But these guys were slipping stops yesterday. They were widening the spread. There was a lot of nasty order flow, like I said. So I'm adding, and I added one more time with my largest add on this push against high a day, and I had a hard stop out at like 1744, something like that. And then they slipped me out. They maxed my slippage. I just don't have any luck with this name. Frustrated at this point, I tried to scale in one more time. I'm going to give this one more shot because I know there's nice downside potential. And then I don't even have a hard stop on this one. I'm engaged in multiple trades at this point, and I'm trading without a hard stop, and this one slips away. This one just gets away from me. And that's the major error. It's an embarrassment to myself and to the community. I apologize for this behavior, but this one, boom, see ya. I noticed that I needed to get out at this point. Someone in the room also identified a new algo, a new player on the tape during this point in time. And I just mark it out. Aggressive exit right here at the red to green line. And then I did have another plan to get back in against $20. And I had orders out at like 1957, 1974, and then like 20 and 2007, and I had a 2057 hard stop, and it didn't get high enough. It didn't fill, which is fine. Okay, now let's get into a winner. All right, those are the only two losers on the day. It was still a small to medium red day, but here's some winners. CHEK. CHEK was gravy. It was a nice, easy trade. I noticed some weakness in pre-market right here. This was enough weakness for me to put it on a feeler, and then just watching this one kind of grind up. I had 269 add right here. This was a little bit larger, 3 times larger than my starter, and I had more size up here, looking to scale into high a day. I don't remember if there was dilution on this play or not. I just can't remember. But I remember I had a nice conviction on this one, and I ended up grabbing a 269 average in pre-market. I wanted more size. Then we start to fade. I took a little bit off at the bell, before the bell, looking to add it back into pre-market support at 265 and 260. I had orders out. They didn't get filled. That's fine. And then these two targets here at 236 and 218 were in front of the tape, and I just let this one run its course. And that's fine. And then also, too, I had a few different swing plays that came in today. SGMO. Now, these swings really saved me. They turned a medium red day into a small to medium red day. SGMO was a big winner yesterday or Friday. And I had a 1260 average with some recycling. But I exited the position at 1103, and I have a 1057 order out as well. But this was a nice cover right here on the swing. KPTI was a massive winner for me a couple days ago. Last week, I had a 1260 average, I believe, on this one. No, that was, sorry, 960. I had a 960 average from 2 days ago, and this was an amazing trade for me right here. One of the best trades that I've had all year. If you guys saw the recap when we made it, it was just massively sized. Awesome trade. So I finally exited the trade here today. These targets were set out 2 days ago, and short-term technical targets. This was a really nice flush. I was very happy when I saw that right there. MLNT, I covered a little bit of my MLNT. Here we go right here. This was from a few days ago as well. I don't have the average offhand on this one. This was there's more orders out on this as well. This will be soon to come. We'll keep you updated on that. The orders are out at MLNT orders are out at 517, 483, 403, and 373. Now, 729 puts us into a new distribution channel. And a few days ago, we did have that 729 crack right here, and then push and fail. And just the action that we had right here gave me the conviction that we were not either going to come up and retest it and fail, or we're just going to fade. And now we're working our way down to the lower end of the main distribution, which is around 370. So I hope we trade in this range. I hope we don't trade in this range too long, but I hope we make our way down to 370 before we base. That's just my my thesis. I hope you guys did better than I did today. This was probably the best trade of the day. Small size. We'll get them next time. Over to the fundamental room. This is the Wolf Trading Room. We'd like to see you guys in here. We're making the dilution packages still. As you can see, every weekend I'm going to go ahead and just throw up some fundamental analysis. We also put the links right here so you can do a little bit of, you can see what we're looking for in the filings, and then you can go ahead and Control F or just go ahead and find these for yourself. So I believe, in my opinion, that this is a great tool and a great way to learn how to read these filings. And every single morning in the Wolf Trading Room, we're going over filings together. We got the Wolf Pack at BAMSEC going to work. If you guys are interested in joining the room, it's open enrollment. We'd love to have you guys in the room, and we're just looking to get 1% better every single day. Now, last but not least, let's look at the runners. These stocks in the runners room are going to be in play, or they're on my main to secondary watch every day. So we have SOLY, CEI. Now they have a strong close. That's going to raise their MVP HS. We have no idea if they're going to take this higher. Let's see what's going to be going on with this one. Micro float. I do believe SSR will be on tomorrow. I don't know if they triggered that this morning or yesterday. I think they triggered it this morning. CHEK. Solo. Nice little push. I believe it was a low volume, but it's definitely pushing, and it closed strong. So that's going to be on the main watch. VLRX. Shout out to Para in the room. Brought this to our attention. And this one had an after hours push. We looked in the filings and noticed that NASDAQ sent them a non-MVLS 35 million restriction. So they have, I think, 180 days to raise that up and maintain that above 35 million for 10 consecutive business days, I believe. But they just had a reverse split, and I think they're in a rinse repeat cycle. The float is also very low. I think it's like a 2, I'm not sure, but I believe it's like a 2 to, it's in between a 2 and a 3 million OS. But that's going to be on watch. Yuma, another low volume push. They just had a 1 for 20 reverse split, and they're grinding up. Looks like they're pushing after hours. They've done that for a few days in a row now, I believe. ALT is on watch. It was in play today, but it just didn't have any power. No pow. Right? I think it touched like $3 and then just failed off. We're looking for some more power off of this tomorrow, hopefully. And there you go. We put the runners in the runner's room every day. We're making it simple for you guys. Come give us a look in Wolf Trading. We'd love to have you in the room. You guys be safe, and we'll get them tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.